Today on Scraps, we're making sushi with something from your cupboard. I'll show you how easy it is to make sushi rice and how to roll without special equipment. That's next on Scraps.
That sushi looks good. Oh, that Thai food looks good too.
I love me some barbecue.
Hey, the show is starting. Shh.
Hey everybody, welcome to Scraps. I'm your host Dave, and today we're making sushi from a can. Yeah, we're going to utilize canned tuna. It's a pantry staple, and I'm sure lots of you at home have it in your cupboard too. And of course, you can go to your local seafood fishmonger and you can get some fresh sushi grade tuna or yellowtail, or which is hamachi, salmon, even uni there if you wanted to. There's even a Korean version of sushi. It's called kimbap. Traditionally, it has ingredients like pickled plums, radishes, and cooked eggs sometimes. But the rice mixture gets a little bit of love and a different flavor with the help of some sesame oil. Also, there's musubi, which is a Hawaiian snack, which is similar to sushi. Usually has Spam or grilled chicken on it. And then also there's something called onigiri, which is a Japanese rice ball. Now, I cut some of my nori into strips. Nori is the Japanese word for seaweed. And utilize some leftovers I happen to have in the fridge, like roasted delicata squash, sliced plums, avocado, cucumber, and tuna. And then I dip them in a furikake seasoning, which is a Japanese condiment made of seaweed, sesame seeds, dried fish, and sugar. They were fun to make and great for on-the-go snacking. Now I'm getting hungry, so let's get rolling. First, let's get the rice going. It's probably the most important part of making sushi. Traditionally, sushi rice is made of short grain rice. You'll see it in stores labeled as such, and sometimes packaging will even say sushi rice on it. Here you can see the size difference from short grain to long grain.
It's best to wash your rice in cold water until the water runs clear. This can also be done with a fine mesh strainer. Make sure to move the rice around with your fingers. What we're doing here is removing some of the starch from the rice. This usually takes 3 or 4 rinses. Then fill it with water just past the first knuckle on one of your fingers. Get it on the stove, bring it to a boil, and simmer on low for 20 minutes. Turn off the heat and let it sit for just another 5 to 7 minutes. Any residual water will evaporate as it will still continue to cook. After it's finished cooking, transfer it to a medium-sized bowl. In a separate bowl, add a 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Whisk that together and add it to your rice. It's best to do this when the rice is still a little bit warm, as it will help dissolve the sugar and the salt. Using a large spoon or spatula, mix until it's incorporated. Alright, ingredients. A can of tuna here, some sprouts, cilantro, green onion, avocado, carrots, cucumber, dried sheets of nori, and lead a bowl of water to help keep the rice from sticking to your fingers. Roasted black sesame seeds, and togarashi, which is a blend of Japanese chili flakes and other spices. To mimic the flavor you'd find in a spicy tuna roll, add some hot sauce of your choosing. Today I'm using Cholula, but sriracha works best here. Then add some mayonnaise. If you happen to have Kewpie mayo, which is a Japanese mayo that's sweetened with sugar, that works well here too. Now take a sheet of nori. Something important to notice is that there's a rough side and a shiny side. We want to keep the rough side up. Put a thin layer of rice that covers just the middle portion of your sheet of nori. And don't forget to use that bowl of water to keep the rice from sticking to your fingers. Add some tuna, followed by green onions, carrots, and finish with some sprouts and black sesame seeds. Now, if you happen to have a bamboo sushi roller, you can use that. If not, get a piece of plastic wrap and place it over a towel. Carefully transfer your sushi to the plastic wrap and slowly roll it up. Take your time, but try to wrap it fairly tight. Here's another roll. This one I made without the help of the kitchen towel. I made it vegetarian with cilantro and also avocado. If ingredients try to slip out, put them back in, or just leave them out. Maybe it's too full. Now making quick cuts with a sharp knife, slice up your rolls. It's really important to have a sharp knife for this.
Well, that's it for this edition of Scraps. I'd love to hear about your sushi-inspired meals. Instead of rolls, you could even make bowls with this, you know? You can also make them with brown rice, use leftover salmon from a previous night's dinner. Philly cream cheese smoked salmon roll is really delicious. Kind of reminds me of a bagel with lox and cream cheese. Don't forget you can subscribe and get updates on future episodes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Scrap.